Tax na naman. Corruption na naman. Well, that's the normal reaction na nakikita natin around us today. And we cannot blame people because we're talking about money and government, no? But I think the question really is that the whole story of this? Diba? Because what if I can offer or I will offer you another perspective about this one na purely on an economic lens wherein we put and set politics aside muna at this time. And as a trader, I've really learned how to react to this one, not emotionally, no? Rather, yung mga ganitong balita, tinitingnan natin siya through a lens of policy such as fiscal or monetary policy. Right? Kumbaga, more on the economy talaga. Okay? Anyway, my name is Van Loven. Dati po akong teacher and school administrator. Now, I am a trader, forex trader, and I'm also coaching. Sa more than half a decade of doing this, I've been looking into these headlines in a fundamental analysis perspective or view, no? At para sa akin, hindi po talaga sapat na tumingin lang tayo sa headline. We have to understand at intindihin talaga kung saan galing ang data at ano talaga yung gustong baguhin ng kung sino man yung gumagawa nito. Alright? Now, para maintindihan natin kung bakit may ganitong 20% tax on savings interest, we have to go back into the basics. Paano nga ba nagpapatakbo ang gobyerno ng ekonomiya nito? Alright? So may dalawang major tools for that. Ang government na ginagamit nila yung monetary policy and fiscal policy. Ang monetary policy, it's more of on to the interest rate, ganyan, no? Ang gumagawa nito or naka-assign dito is ang ating central bank. Actually, every country has its own central bank. At ang role talaga is gamitin yung tool na meron sila, no? Monetary policy tool to be able to, achieve their goals of lowering inflation, for instance. Alright? Tapos si gobyerno naman natin, meron naman silang counterpart niyan, no? Meron silang fiscal policy. Alright? So, gumagawa niyan, hindi central bank, rather yung BOF natin, BIR, as well as Congress. Alright? So, sila talaga yung nagmamanage ng buwis, tsaka government spending, tsaka even borrowing. Ibig sabihin, yung 20% tax is a fiscal policy move. And ang goal nito is to change yung behavior ng money or to simply put money into the circulation ng ating economy ulit. Alright? Pero ito ang kailangan nating linawin or i-clarify, no, na hindi po ito tax sa lahat ng savings or dun sa capital na sinisave mo talaga. Rather, ang tinataksan talaga nito is yung kinikita mo, no, yung tubo. Alright? Yun yung tataksan nito, yung long-term na deposits lang din. Alright? Kaya medyo talagang, alam mo yun, malabo yung sinasabi ng ilan na anti-poor daw ito. Because real talk, guys, no, ilan lang ba sa atin talaga ang may long-term savings na may interest, di ba? Madalas, ang mga nasa middle to upper class lang talaga or the rich ones lang talaga may ganitong klase ng financial instruments or components na ginagamit or ginagawa nila yan. Right now, bakit biglang ganito ang galaw ng government natin? Dito po papasok ang global context. As a fundamental analyst kasi, you have to learn and understand yung buong global economy para malaman mo na naapektuhan din talaga yung mga ibang bansa or markets. Alright? So sa ngayon kasi, ang US po ay ginagawa nila, nagpapabalik sila ng pera sa loob ng US. No? Tinatawag itong reshoring. At kasama na dito yung ginagawa nila ngayon na paglalagay ng tariff, yung tariff war. No? So tariff sa imports. Alright? Now, ang epekto nito is syempre ginagawa nitong mas mahal ang magnegosyo, no, abroad. Kaya bumabalik or na-encourage yung mga negosyante or kampanya na bumalik sa US. Kasi nga, locally, mas mura na siya ngayon kaysa magbayad sila ng tax, or tariff. Alright? Now, ang resulta, syempre, mas konting foreign investments ang lalabas at pupunta sa mga bansang katulad ng Pilipinas or bansa natin or at iba pang mga emerging markets tulad ng Philippines. Alright? Now, kung maliit ang foreign capital inflow sa bansa natin, ibig sabihin kailangan po ng gobyerno ng local alternative at nasaan yung pera. Syempre, tulog sa long term na mga deposits yung pera, no? I would say, right? So, hindi talaga umiikot at hindi nag-i-invest, no? Hindi gumagalaw yung ano natin, yung pera. Kaya ang tanong ngayon, anong ginagawa ng gobyerno? So tinataksa nila para ma-encourage itong may-ari ng mga perang ito na gamitin, no, to make it more productive at ibahagi siya sa economy, right? May it be opening businesses, 'di ba? Ipautang sa iba, so on and so forth. Alright? Alam ko masakit para sa mga savers ito, pero kung titignan mula sa economic point of view, no, ito ay tinatawag na behavioral nudging lang naman. Kaya ginagamit talaga ang tax para encourage na gumalaw yung perang yan. Alright? Papunta sa negosyo, short-term investment, and everything like that na in terms of economic activity. Kasi sa ekonomiya, hindi sapat na may pera. Rather, kailangan talaga na umikot ito. Okay? So, sa akin naman bilang forex trader and coach, no, at the same time, ito ang lens na ginagamit ko. Hindi lang charts ang tinitingnan namin, no, kundi yung capital inflow talaga. Kumbaga, we follow where the money is, right? Where the hot money is, kumbaga. And this also are achieved by looking at the policy signals tulad ng mga ganito. May it be fiscal policy or monetary policy. Alright? At para sa akin, ang mensahe ng tax na ito ay malinaw. The government wants to reallocate the capital. So kung kumbaga gusto nila na ang pera na natutulog ay magtrabaho at magsimula ng negosyo, umikot, gumalaw, ganyan. Pero ang importanteng mindset shift talaga is kung titingnan, no, or titingin ka rather sa tax na ito gamit ang savers mindset, talagang maaasar ka. Okay, ako nga walang savings, no, naasar din. Alright? So feeling mo talaga na nakanakawan ka, right? Pero kung titingnan mo ito gamit ang investor's mindset, okay? Kasi yun dapat gamitin mo as a trader, right? Para you simply follow where the hot money is, right? So diyan makikita mo na ito ay repositioning opportunity. Okay, it's not a problem, it's an opportunity. Ang tanong ngayon is saan dadalhin ng mga tao ang pera nila pagkatapos nito. Alright, so diyan tayo dapat nakaabang. Ngunit kahit may logic ang fiscal move na ito, dapat din nating alamin ang totoo. Oo, masakit para sa mga savers ang usaping ito. And my sense naman ang economic strategy nito. Pero for me lang ang tax kasi dapat last resort at hindi siya dapat kumbaga first response, right? Kumbaga bago tayo humingi ulit ng pera sa mga tao, dapat ayusin muna natin yung system. Kumbaga i-prioritize muna yung serbisyo at hindi ang collection ng true tax, alright? Kumbaga kahit kasi hindi naman talaga mababa ang tax ng Pilipinas. In fact, ang taas ng tax natin dito in terms of regional, no, comparative, no, sa region. Ang problema lang kasi talaga, hindi kulang ang pera, kundi mahina ang pamamahala. Alright? Ang governance. So, a government that struggles to manage its resources should not rely on collecting more from its people, right? So, more taxes kasi won't really solve corruption, for example. Pero, ang makakasolve talaga dyan is a really good leadership talaga. Kaya, for me naman, bilang trader, no, trabaho naman natin na intindihin ang mga policy signals, pero bilang citizen, bilang mamamayan, responsibilidad naman natin na magtanong, no, are we really taxing for growth or are we taxing trust? Right? So anyway, kung gusto mo ng mga ganitong analysis na pinagsama yung macroeconomics tsaka simpleng paliwanag, follow mo ako at The Caffeinated Trader dito, no? Hindi lang tayo magcha-chart, kundi we also decode yung mga signals, policy shifts na mga ganito. Right? So, we make really a lot of sense of or out from systems like this. Okay? So, yun lang. Sana may natutunan ka. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.